Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Multrap coming at you here with a hopefully going to be doing the entire series of Ace, Air Force Ace, as you might be able to tell from your screen right now. There's the old man toss, reach, preparing his hands, stretching his wrists out, getting prepared to do some action against the CJ team. Yes, it's going to be RoKAF Ace versus CJ Entis. And it's going to be a very, very exciting matchup, I think. I'm going to try and do the whole thing, but we'll see if I'm able to. Anyway, but yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this. Kind of good getting back into the the normal pro league, and winners league was really exciting. But I think I was actually gonna kind of like getting back into normal pro league. It's a little bit easier to know like who's gonna play ahead of time and that sort of thing. Um, and so it's kind of nice to like be able to look forward to a match. You know that so and so is going to be in the match, whereas you don't necessarily know he's going to be in a match in the winners league. Anyway, this should be a pretty cool matchup too because Ace, they've got a decent chance against CJ. Their Reach is facing Orion, relatively kind of newish Zerg player, and yeah, and then after that we got Yellow facing Much, Yellow, NC Yellow, and he actually just did pretty well in the MSL prelims. Um, I just did one of his games from the prelims, and I won't spoil the result of it in case you haven't watched it yet. But he's going to be facing Much, and Anytime is going to be facing Savior in Game 3, and if it gets to it, Casey and Sky High in Game 4. So all these should be pretty decent matches, actually. CJ's team has been a little bit lately, so Ace actually stands a chance, I think. No, I always think that. I always say that to myself. I always say, oh, Ace has a chance. Oh, Ace might win. Oh, man. I don't know why I punish myself like this, to be completely honest. I always punish myself. I always try to do these Ace matches, meaning Air Force games. I always hope the Air Force will take a set. And, because they're always so happy about it because it's so typical for them. But, they just always lose. We'll see. We'll see. There was recently someone was I think they interviewed Anytime or someone like that. They were talking about how Yellow, NC Yellow, he's just joined the team recently, and he's apparently breathing new life into the Air Force team. Um, he's been practicing really, really hard, and trying to get back into things here. And it's apparently kind of inspired a lot of the other Air Force team, kind of the new blood, and Yellow in particular, just completely practicing a lot, trying to get back into the swing of things. Really is picking up the kind of the team's morale. So who knows? We'll have to see. Oh man, who was I talking to? I don't remember who I was talking to. Dang it! Let's see if I can remember who I was talking to. I was talking to someone lately. And they were talking about that, how Yellow is practicing a lot, and I'm like, well, but doesn't he have like not much practice time on Ace? And they're like, well, I don't think he was practicing very much for the last few years anyway. And I'm like, really? He wasn't practicing at all? And I mean, wouldn't he have to practice at least a little bit? I mean, I know he wasn't playing, but he's got to practice at least some to keep his skills in order, right? And they're like, well, maybe a little bit, but I really don't think he was practicing at all. And I'm just paraphrasing the conversation here. I don't remember the details of it. But then here's the line I'm getting at here, is they said, then at then at BlizzCon he lost to a white guy and said, I need to get my skills back up. Maybe he was so embarrassed by losing to Idra at BlizzCon that he decided he needed to get his skills back up and be a contender again, but we will see. I mean, he had some wins last year against Freeze, but they were all cheese in the one of the GOM matches. And but now he's doing decently well. Like I said, he did okay in his prelim matches. Anyway, we'll see what he has here. But this isn't Yellow, by the way. This is Orion. I keep talking about Yellow. But this is actually Reach versus Orion. Sorry for getting a little bit off topic there. And we see, it looks like an overpool build here coming from Orion. Reach is just going for a standard Forge Expand, it looked like, putting his pylon out in front of his base. So it looks like we're going to see some pretty standard play here. And Reach, Reach has been doing pretty well too, relatively speaking. I remember, talking to Color about it, and Color, of course, huge Reach fanboy. Um, little face off between the probe and the drone there. Oh, you don't think he's gonna? Oh no, I didn't think he was gonna stop it. It was a little bit late on the upkeep there, getting in close to the drone. Um, anyway, Collar was saying that before the season started, actually, when Reach had just joined the team, he said, "I think Reach is gonna." Or maybe it was just after the season started or whatever. He said he thought Reach was going to win at least 50% of his games this season. And so far he has been winning about 50%. So, he's not doing horribly, considering that, previously he hadn't won a game in, like 2 full years or something like that. He hadn't won an individual game, like a one-on-one. So he's been doing all right, considering. Anyway, what's going on with this drone? Where's this drone going? Oh, okay, the drone's going to the expansion there. He's going to try and take, for his third hatchery, instead of taking the mineral only behind his face, it's going to be a little bit risky by going for that gas expansion. Obviously, the gas expansion, Reach, you need to watch out. He might do a run by, get something in the gap. Okay, there's another probe. I think you may have seen with his scouting probe that there weren't a lot of extra lings made, though, so he doesn't have to worry too much. Anyway, what was I going to... Oh, yeah, it's a little bit risky to put your third hatchery up there, because obviously then your defenses are spread out. You have to divide your defenses between your natural expansion door and then that other base as well, which Reach definitely knows about. He followed the drone over there, I think. So you have to split your attentions. Whereas if you had your third hatchery and that mineral only behind your base, you would just have to defend your natural expansion and theoretically defend against something coming in from behind those temples. But, I mean, again, gas, very, very important to Zerg. The more gas mines they have, and there's Anytime on the left and Savior on the right, they're going to be playing in the third match of this series. So kind of showing who's going to be playing later. But anyway, if you can get 3 gas, that's as much gas as you need to really start building some really high tech units. You can see players go lurkers and mutas and what have you off of 2 gas pretty easily. But once you get 3 gas, that enables you to get a lot of... If you get 3 gas early, that enables you to get a lot of lurkers out very quickly. It's going to make for a much stronger lurker contain if you decide to go for a sort of a lurker contain play. And that kind of thing. And then later on in the game, if you could get a 4th base up and get a 4th gas, and there's game 4, Casey on the left and Sky High on the right, by the way. Well, yeah, if you can get a 4th gas up, that's when you're getting into Ultralisk territory. You have enough gas for the real big units, but that's usually later in the game. In any case, Reach putting down a Citadel. He's got a couple Zealots out. I haven't noticed if he's put down extra gateways or anything at this point yet. It looks like Orion's just going for a pretty normal, kind of build. Just going for the 3-hatch Spire, and then probably going to start putting... Now that he's got that Spire down, he's probably going to put down some more hatcheries and just try and get some masses up here. But Reach actually venturing out, and he is the Mantos, so we could... Oh wait, is he going to turn around and be unmanly? Oh, he's going to be unmanly. He's going to fall back. And really, I think here's the thing. He's by venturing those Zealots out, Ryan probably just made a bunch of Zerglings. He probably just made a bunch of Zerglings to combat those Zealots. I mean, maybe he might have seen them fall back soon enough. I'm not sure, but if he was really thinking that those Zealots were going to attack, yeah. See, there's some more Zerglings, and at least he is putting pressure on them. But basically, what Reach did is he made him spend that money on Zerglings instead of drones, which is actually pretty important. Because if you just let the Zerg get just a ton of drones forever, then, you're going to get out economy later on. But what he also did is he very intelligently fell back to his front door. Oftentimes you'll see players will go out and they'll be like, oh, I want to put some pressure on this Zerg, and I want to, make them build things that aren't drones. And so they'll go out with their, 3 or 4 Zealots and a Dragoon or something like that, or less, or like 3 Zealots, and they'll lose it. They'll lose their army. They'll lose their initial army, and then they're screwed. Then they're so screwed, because then if they lose that initial army, I mean, they're not completely screwed, but it makes it so that they have to hide in their base for so much longer. Oh, nice dodge there. It looks like those Corsairs are going to be able to get away. Fall back to some cannons. for safety. But anyways, without that initial army, it is so difficult to get out of your base. I mean, it's so difficult to build up that amount that